So now that we are back in our paypal.php file, our create order, as you can see, section here, we've got our object instantiated, and then we call our create order method. So what we can do is we actually can check if it's been successful, if our order has been completed created successfully. Then we are going to execute some other code. So first of all, we're going to populate order details. Okay, first of all, order equals object order, and the method will be called get order. After this, we want all items which are assigned to this order. I'm going to scroll up a little bit, actually create a few new lines. All items which are assigned to this order also to be stored inside of the arrays. So we're going to create items array, and we're going to populate all items by using get order items method inside of the order class. So these two methods is what we're going to be creating now. First one is called get order. So if we copy the name and open our order.php file, scroll right to the bottom, and we're going to start with a few new lines. We can close the file browser here. Public function get order, and we need to put one parameter in, which is order ID. By default it's null. It's we don't have to really have this parameter. As you can see, we called this method without using any parameter. This is for later on if we will be want actually to retrieve the details of a specific order, let's say in the control panel. But to make sure that we have some ID here, let's do this kind of statement. ID equals, if is an empty ID, then it will simply be ID. Otherwise, it will be this underscore ID. As you may remember, we've captured this ID, the ID of the lastly added order, into this specific property of this class. So now SQL statement. SQL equals select all from this underscore table, where ID equals single quote, double quote, dot to concatenate this db escape ID, then dot, and between two double quotes, single quote, and semicolon right at the end. Now return this db fetch one SQL. So now this method will return the details of the specific order. Okay, so we have our get order. The next method was called get order items. So copy the name, go back to our orders class, create a few new lines after our last method, and let's start public function get order items. Again, we will put one parameter. By default it will be null, and it's ID of the order. The same statement, so ID equals if is an empty ID, then we simply pass this ID. Otherwise we will pass the ID which has been generated and populated basically from a database. Okay, now we have SQL equals select all from, this time it's going to be table, this underscore table underscore 2, where order equals single quote, then concatenation this db escape ID, then concatenation double quotes and single quote in between them, at the end semicolon. Okay, now return this db fetch all, and we pass our SQL to this database method. Okay, now these two methods are done. So obviously we know whether we have order and items. So in the next video we're going to have a look at what we're going to do next.